Hello team, good evening. Today we are going to learn how to create our own promise. In the last session, we understand how to consume a promise and how to use that promise, deal with asynchronous calls whenever it is handling a promise. Just take a confirmation from students and then we can jump into the topic. Team, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now today we are going to create our own promise and let's see how it will work. Okay, now tell me, can anyone tell me what is a promise?
It holds the status of asynchronous operation and also holds the response of asynchronous operation.
Basically, it is a
So
Object.
the
promise
It
is
is the
a
object.
promise is a object representing eventual completion or failure of an async operation.
fantastic. So sorry, promise is an object. It will represents eventual success or
Completion,
Completion or failure
completion or
failure.
failure of an
async operation.
asynchronous operation. Okay, that is a beautiful definition. Well, let's see, because yesterday we understand how to consume the promise. Today we are going to create our own promise and how this promise is working internally and what is a promise chain and how to deal with whenever we got an errors. Okay, a lot of things. Definitely, this is going to be most important the topic in JavaScript. Okay, if you want to create any a promise, it's very simple. So constant my promise. I hope you're able to see my screen, right? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
So new promise. Okay, did you ever experience this syntax? Constant my promise is equal to new promise. Like that, a similar syntax.
Like map or somewhere else.
Classes, sir.
Yeah, what's that?
Classes.
If you have a class and if you want to create an object, right? We use the
Yes,
same syntax, right?
yes, sir.
Constant object one is equal to new employee, right? So this is a constructor method. Just recollect whatever you have learned classes. So promise is, of course, in javascript classes are just a syntactical sugar of a constructor functions. Okay, there are two more topics, that is factory functions and constructor functions. Okay, and classes. Okay, classes are introduced in 2015, that is along with the ES6 features, right? So before that, before that, we were using, of course, these classes are not exactly um, as powerful as the OOPS concept like C++, Java, or C Sharp.NET. Okay, we will use completely all the powers of a classes. But in JavaScript, we will use limited powers of the classes. Here, we should understand that in a separate way because before classes, we have a factory functions and constructor functions, and these classes are just a syntactical sugar of those constructor functions. Okay, right now you don't need to worry about that. I will explain those things, or at least I will provide the information where you can find and understand those things. So here, this promise is also a simple a class. So with the help of that, either it is a constructor function or a factory function or a classes. End of the day, both are same. Okay, so it will, okay, if you want to create a promise, so this is a promise, it is a class, it has a lot of inbuilt methods or properties, whatever it is, it's a structure, and whenever you just invoke a new promise, it will give you an object for us. So but here this constructor, because to the promise constructor, whenever we are just using this parenthesis, that means we are invoking the constructor function of that class called a promise. So it will expect, so this is the syntax is really different. So it will take some time to understand that, but don't worry, it will be very simple. So if you see, we already know, right? What is a callback function? Sorry, yeah, callback function. That means if we are able to pass a function to another function, the passing function is a callback function, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So here,
Yes, sir.
this promise is also expecting a function, a callback function. So I'm just passing a function. So this is minimum because we should pass a callback function. But here there is another super important thing. This callback function expects two parameters again. One is resolve and reject. Resolve and reject. Okay. Don't worry. Suppose if you have any function, okay, if you have a simple function called hello or addition, okay, addition. This is the function, right? So here, if you put a comma b, what are these two things? A comma b.
Parameters.
In similar way, this callback function should have two parameters. One is resolve, another one is reject. Okay, you can give a comma b also, but the exact purpose of this first parameter is resolve and second one is a reject. Okay, how it is working internally we are going to learn in few more minutes. So that's the syntax. So we are passing a callback function. Otherwise, even if you want, you can create a function like this function, um, my callback. Okay, my callback, and it has two parameters a comma b. So even if you just pass this as a argument to that constructor function, that is also perfect. Okay, we don't need to worry. So the same thing, function my callback here, this is resolve and this one is
Reject.
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 So now I will try to simplify because we already learned arrow function, right? So instead of using this function keyword and function name, it's better to use arrow function. So what I'm doing, instead of just using this regular function syntax, I'm just rewriting with a arrow function. So this, observe carefully, arrow function, that's it, right? So this function is expecting two things. One is resolve, another one is reject. That's it. So now understood or not the syntax,
Yes, sir.
everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is most of the time we used to forget, at least whenever we are attending interview. But you should do practice, then only you will understand. So this resolve and this reject, again those are again callback functions, but those are internally handled by a JavaScript environment. Okay, we don't need to worry too much about it, but we should know how to use these things. Okay, first I will explain one example. So we already learned like pizza, right? So to prepare a pizza, we understand how much time it will take, at least 15 minutes, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm doing here, I'm just putting a set timeout, because whenever if you use this promise, whenever we use this promise, so okay, first of all, what are the characteristics of the promise object? Promise holds what? Status and
Response.
response, and it has some inbuilt methods like then, okay, and catch, lots of other things also there, but we can understand in detail. So this we got the promise object. Even if you do console.log of my promise, you will see that object clearly, that the status is pending, but we will write some code and let's understand. So this set timeout, why I'm just putting this set timeout, I'm just putting because this is the asynchronous call. Definitely it will take some time to execute. So here you can send, because in this promise you can give any asynchronous call to a server or network call, or even if you want to use a set timeout, whatever it is, the which needs some delay or which needs some time to execute something, you can write it out. So but here we are just understanding how the promise object will work, and then we can take on real-time examples so that it will be easy for you. So here this set timeout, what I'm giving, I'm just giving a 5000 milliseconds delay. Okay, 5000 milliseconds delay. So here observe carefully, after 5000 milliseconds delay, suppose I have sent a request to the server. I'm just sending a request to the server, sending requests to server. So once you got the response, suppose if you got the response as a success response, what you will do? You will get the data,
Resolve.
right? You will get the data. So you can display that information, or you can give that information to the UI so that you can display. So there are two things. One is, there is a two possibilities. One is you will get a response. That response will be whether it will be okay. Okay means success. Maybe error, right? There are two chances. So here, just imagine. Suppose I'm just taking the positive case. After 5000 milliseconds, we got the response properly. That means select money something. Just let money or salary. Okay, you are trying to withdraw some money from an ATM, so it will also take some time, right, to do a calculation. It will send a request to the server whether that account, your debit card or your card is valid or not, whether you have entered PIN properly or not, and it will check all the things and it will give a response. So it will is giving a response means, suppose just imagine you got the response as, suppose you are withdrawing 10,000 rupees money. Okay, that means here I'm not sending any request to the server. Just imagine we have sent a request to the server, we got the response, and that information is stored in this salary. So now what you will do, if if you got the salary, if the salary equal to, suppose, at least I'm just putting like salary, that means if we have some data, if it is not undefined, that's it, that's I'm happy. Okay, so what I will do, so if that means it is resolved, right? That means we got the response properly. So that here this resolve is a another callback function that is provided by the JavaScript engine. So JavaScript engine will deal. So you may ask the question, Raghu, this is the parameter, yes, but where we are passing the information to that resolve? But here JavaScript is handling internally. The only thing is you can invoke this function. So this function is provided by handled by the JavaScript engine. The simply what we can do, just invoke this function. You can invoke this function resolve, because once you got the success message, okay, if you got the salary, just make it resolve. Okay, what will happen now, observe carefully what will happen. This is the object, right? This is the my promise object. This is the my promise object. Okay, is there in the memory. Okay, in the browser somewhere in the memory. Once you got the response and once you invoke this resolve, what will happen now? This JavaScript engine, JavaScript environment or browser will update the state. Okay, what is the initial state? Previously it was pending, right?
pending,
And response
Undefined.
undefined.
undefined. Okay, whenever we invoke this resolve, automatically the status of this object will be what?
Fulfilled.
Fulfilled. And the response,
Data.
Data.
okay, what you are giving data, you are passing the salary, right?
Salary.
Yeah, what
Salary.
is the value of that salary? 10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
So it will be updated here. Okay, it will be updated here. Then if once it is fulfilled, once you got the response, automatically this then method will invoke. Okay, suppose if the promise is there, okay, if this promise is there, so if I'm doing like just console.log console.log my promise. Okay, observe carefully. Now I'm just removing this code. Now I'm just putting console.log start. And after this, what I'm doing, console.log end. Okay. Observe carefully what will happen. First, JavaScript engine will execute this statement, right? Console.log of start, so that it will print start in the output. And after that, it will invoke this the promise constructor and whatever you have given. So it will return a promise. Okay. Why? When it is executed this statement, when it is executed this statement, at the time it will return a promise. At the time the promise status is pending and the response will be undefined, and these then method and catch method, everything is ready to do some actions. Okay, so let me add again like pending, pending, and this is undefined. Okay, let's see. Suppose if we put this thing in a browser, at least we can see the information. So let me add the same code into the HTML file, so that with the help of developer tools we can see what is there inside the promise. Okay, so just let me open that HTML file in the browser. Okay, this console. Okay, just I'm just refreshing. So it has written the promise. What is it is pending, and the state is also pending, and okay, sorry, state, yeah, state is pending, and promise result is undefined. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes,
Understood or
sir.
not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so far nothing happened, nothing happened, because we are just we just created a promise object and we just do console.log and end, that's it. But after 5000 milliseconds, what happened, what will happen, it will update the promise object state value as fulfilled, and that result will be this response, that is 10,000, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. But if you want to see the data, if you want to see the data, what you need to do, what we need to do, is it possible for us to get the data directly from the promise object? See, here this a promise object is there. After 5000 milliseconds, definitely the status will be fulfilled and the data will result will be 10,000 rupees. But I want the result. I want to see that response. So if you want to see that response, we can't do like my promise dot promise state or my promise dot promise result. It is not going to work out like that, because to get the data from the promise object, the promise is providing some built-in functions. Okay, some built-in function. What
Then
is that
methods.
function?
Then
Yes. So what I'm doing here, my promise dot then. Okay, we all know, right? Yesterday we understand when this then method is going to execute.
after fulfill the promise.
Yes, because here we have given 5000 milliseconds. After 5000 milliseconds, once we got the response from the server and once we got the salary details, it is going to invoke this resolve method. When we invoke this resolve method, automatically it will update the state in the promise object and it will update the data, the result. So automatically JavaScript engine, JavaScript environment or browser, everything is ready. Once we got the data, immediately it is going to invoke this then method. So here this then method also expecting one callback function, and here it will be the result, and you can get that result. So carefully console.log the result. If the result is 10,000, it will print 10,000. If result will be a string, it will give that string. If result will be an array, it will give that array. If result will be an object, it will give that object. If the result will be a promise, definitely it will print a promise. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So yesterday we have seen, right, whenever we have sent a request to the server first time, it is returning this promise. Again, we are attached one more then method as a promise chain. We got the result. Okay, so let's even we can understand that also today. So here, whenever if I execute this one, observe carefully the beauty of a JavaScript environment. Observe carefully. Now it is pending. This is undefined. After 5,000 milliseconds, we got the data or not?
Got it.
Yes.
Yes. So don't get confused with this information because this is logged before executing that right. This is just log the information whenever we invoke this one. Okay. When we invoke this one, that data is automatically updated in the background and we are getting the result. So now tell me everyone understood or not?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Everyone should say
Understood,
yes or
sir.
no.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Understood.
Okay, now I will show you few more simple things. Suppose if it is a 10,000, okay, it will 10,000. Suppose if it is an array of information, so what will happen? So say this promise is initially is a pending, the data is undefined. After 5,000 milliseconds, we got the data, it is pending the data, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose here, if I create another promise, okay, if I create another promise, if I pass to it, what will happen? So I'm just creating another promise, constant. My P1. Okay, don't worry. This is just for testing purpose, understanding purpose only. Okay, this is the promise object. Here again, resolve and reject. Okay. So here what I'm doing, I'm putting again set, not interval, set timeout. Set timeout. So for this one also, what I'm doing, 5,000 milliseconds. So here just again I'm just calling the resolve. I'm just passing. Hello. Okay, right now don't worry. Only thing is I want to say if I return this promise, so observe carefully. After after 5,000 milliseconds, of this set timeout, what will happen? It will return another promise or not? Let's see. Hopefully it will return a promise. Oh my god, it is resolving actually. Okay, okay. Resolving, but I want to see this promise. Let me check one. Yeah, I think we need to return something. Okay, don't worry. I will resolve that. Okay, but just understand if you whatever the data you will give, it will return. Because here it is quickly resolving this one and it is giving this result because we have two results. Or I think let me do one thing here. We can do one thing. We should return this result. We should return result for the next promise. Okay, yes or no? Okay, here I'm just putting again then method. Okay, here the result. I'm not sure whether it will. R. Let's see. Okay, I will explain in detail one more time. Don't worry. 5,000 plus 5,000, like 10,000 milliseconds. Yeah, it is giving the hello. Okay. So if you see what I need to do, okay, before returning this result, if I try to do a console.log, I want that promise. I want to see that promise. That's why I tried. But JavaScript is okay, Raghu. Don't why you are working. Why worrying? I will give a end result. What you will do with that promise? Maybe it will give a hello hello two times. Yeah, yeah. It is resolving. It is resolving and giving it back to us. Okay. Now don't worry. This I will explain. This is just for understanding the promise chain. You just practice up to this much. Okay, can you do practice quickly? Because at least you should understand the syntax, this flow, so that I can explain few other uh, topics. Yes or no? Are you ready to do practice or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yeah, please do practice and just give me confirmation, and then I will explain another super important concept. Because if you don't do practice, you will get a lot of confusion. That's why I'm saying at least you should able to write this code. At least you should able to understand what I'm writing. For that, you need a simple one round of practice. Just do it quickly. Don't byheart it. Just create a promise, a new promise, resolve and reject something. Just do it meaningfully. Uh, okay. How much time do you need? 15 minutes is enough, or 10 minutes is enough? Just ping me. How much time do you need? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 1 day, 2 days. Ping me in the chat. You just tell me how much time do you need? Minimum. Just tell me minimum time. Okay, Pawan said 5 minutes. What about remaining people? Okay, first of all, we should improve our communication skills. The communication skills is not that talking in English, so just giving the response in a proper time in a proper way. Okay, fine. Okay, 5 to 10 minutes. Just I will be back in 10 minutes. Just do it. Done. Just give me confirmation once you have done so that we can proceed. Okay, Pawan has done. Okay, Niharika also done. Yeah. Everyone just give me confirmation once you're done. Okay, fine. Let's proceed or still do you need time? Mayur, Om Prakash, Pankaj,
Proceed, sir.
proceed. Pawan, Pawan Giviti, Pankaj.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Let's go. Suppose, okay, everyone is there. Just give me confirmation. Everyone is here.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here, observe carefully. So we understand one positive situation. Suppose this is the object and it will hold the status, right? Status. Another one is result or response, whatever we can call it as. But and here we have a then method, and we already understand how it will work. We should understand another situation, that is a catch method, when it is going to work. And we have seen that status initially it is pending, and whenever it is pending the result will be undefined. Suppose suppose if it is got rejected, or if while sending a request to the server, or if server send a bad request error or something, so the status will become rejected. Yes or no? Rejected. And result will be an error message. Okay, here whatever the error message will pass, whether it will be object form or it is a error, just a simply a string, whatever it is, definitely it should be a error message. So whenever the status has changed from pending to rejected, automatically this catch method is going to invoke, and we are, if you pass the callback function to this catch method, and it will hold this result. Okay, whatever the result is there, it will hold that result and you can proceed with that result. So let's see how it is working. So here what I'm doing, if salary is true, that is resolved. Suppose we didn't get any salary. Okay, obviously what will happen, tell me? After 5000 milliseconds also, if we
I
didn't receive the salary, definitely it will be an error, right? Yeah, tell me. So yes, it will be rejected, and you can pass. So now I'm just passing a hard-coded error message like something fine. So what will happen whenever it is invoked this reject method? So the status will be updated as rejected, and the error message, whatever the result, whatever the message you are giving, whether it is an object or a string, whatever it is going to update here. Okay, and immediately it will collect this information and it will execute this catch method, and suppose we should pass a callback function. So now suppose how to add that catch method simply. So this promise is there, my promise dot then, right? So after this even you can write like this, then dot catch. So again you can pass a callback function. So this catch method will hold that result error message. So here I'm just referring as a this error message or error info, whatever the error info you can do console.log that save it. Let's see what will happen, because right now I've just given that value as undefined the salary, so that it should reject it and we should get an error. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Understood everyone?
Got it, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in real time, what will happen? It is not going to It is not going to send a simply a string. So it will create a new error. So how we can create a promise? Yes, in the same way we can create error. So here right now I'm just creating error, and here you can give a message like something when naturally whenever we send a request to the server, it will give the exact error information most of the times. Okay. Suppose if you do like what I'm doing, whenever we got an error, we should stop executing the code, right? We should throw a new error. So what is the error message? That is something went wrong, but this is a exception. So let's see what will happen. So previously it is simply displaying the something went wrong message, but it is not stopping the execute, like it is not stopping the JavaScript engine to execute any other further statements. But now it is going to throw an error. Yes or no? So of course this is giving error message. Error message. Suppose if you want to throw error, okay, we can discuss later. Don't worry. This is error message. Got it or not?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes, sir.
clearly error. The type is error, and the message is something went wrong. Even if you give any message in a different way, you will get it. So this is as simple as how to create a promise object for us. In real time, we are not going to write like this. In real time, what will happen? Let's take a simple example. So the piece.js. So let me write from the beginning. So we need to order what? Order pizza, right? So I'm doing console.log, console.log start. And here we can do console.log and here I can create a function that is order pizza, order pizza. So if it is asynchronous thing, what we need to do, we can create, suppose order pizza, what we need to do, pass money, right? Yes or no? You need to send some money. So order pizza, and if you pass 1,000 rupees, then it will do. But to prepare the pizza, it will take some time, right? It will take some time. So for that, to handle this asynchronous things, what we can do? We can create
A promise.
promise. It's a new promise. What is syntax here? This promise will expect a callback
Callback.
function. Again, this callback function expects two
Two
parameters.
characters.
Again, those are also callback functions. Those are resolved and
Reject.
reject. Okay, I need to put like okay, reject. So here, how much time it will take prepare the pizza? First, it will check, right? If we have a money, if the money you have given money that is true, then only it will prepare the pizza. Otherwise, it is not going to prepare the pizza. So, but any case, so here I'm what I'm doing. Simply, I'm just putting the the timeout, set timeout. Again, this set timeout again is a expecting callback function. I'm just giving 5,000 milliseconds delay. Simply here in this set timeout, I'm just what we're doing. If
Money.
money is true, or you can put that if condition outside, okay, whatever, that's how you will manage, that is your choice. So if that money is there, what we can do, resolve, and you need to pass pizza, right? What is the pizza? Which pizza you want? Margaret pizza, what you said last time? Okay,
Margarita.
I'm just putting like m dot pizza. Okay, suppose if you didn't paid, what he will do, he will
Reject.
reject,
Reject.
he will throw new error,
Error.
please pay money. What are this? So and what this, whenever we are invoking this order pizza, we it is creating a promise object, but we should return that promise object, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So because who is invoking this function, who is invoking this asynchronous call, he should check the status, because he need to take an action once you got the pizza, whether you want to eat or you want to give it to another person. He will take the decision, right? We are giving again control to the programmer, or who is invoking that function. So that's why we are returning the pizza, that promise. Okay, that is very very important. Okay, so now this is the simple, that is a simple function, that is asynchronous function. Internally it is doing asynchronous call. So here the constant, here we can do my order, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Order pizza. So once you order the pizza, and if you pay 1,000 rupees, once you pay 1,000 rupees, like this, so it is returning a promise. So here you always need to check the promise, right? Once it is this your order is resolved, once your order is resolved, you will get the result or response. Okay, console.log, and it will print the result, so that you can, if you want to eat, or if you want to go, if you want to Give it to your friend, that is your choice. Suppose if you got any error message, okay, so this is error, as simple as that. To console.log. Now, if my transaction is not successful, no problem. Just tell me, just at least give me that message. I will be happy.
Error, error dot message, sir. It will give message only in the console
Mm,
log. Sir, console log.
Okay, okay, got it, got it, got it.
Yes,
Error
sir.
dot
Message.
message is a property. Yeah, looks like, yeah. Let's see. P.js, I just added in a JavaScript code so that directly let's execute that. Let's see. Start end after 5,000 millisecond. Hopefully, I have paid that 1,000 rupees, right? So we got the pizza. Congratulations, you got the pizza. Okay. Suppose if I didn't pay this amount, okay, but I just order the pizza without paying money. Let's see what will happen. Please pay money. That's fantastic. Understood or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
This is the most beautiful topic. Okay. So now you can understand simply that. So if it is returns another promise, what you will do? You can do dot then here. Even that will return another promise. You can do then like that. So so that we are solving. Suppose if you have instead of making like a callback help. So what we can do here? We can do with dot then. So even if the first asynchronous calls returns another promise, okay, fine, no problem. I will wait for um, the time when it is going to resolve. Even that is returning another promise, okay, no problem. I will wait. Even that is returning another promise, okay, no problem. I will wait. So this is what happening, right? You went to school. You went to school. You need a knowledge and you need a job guarantee kind of thing. You went to school, so he's returning a promise to a college, junior college, and again he's just pushing that promise to which one? Engineering college, and again he's just pushing that promise to whom? Just tell me. స్కూల్కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకు ప్రామిస్ చేశారు మీ వాడి బాధ్యత ఫ్యూచర్ నాది బాధ్యత అని చెప్పేసి జూనియర్ కాలేజ్ పంపించారు. జూనియర్ కాలేజ్ వాళ్ళు ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్ పంపించారు. ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాలేజ్ వాళ్ళు ఎవరికి పంపిస్తున్నారు?
Amirpet, sir.
అమీర్పేట్ వాళ్ళు
మనకి
again he will give that promise to you only back. So here you are there, you are going to school, okay, this school people will teach you something and they will give a promise, but that is not resolved, okay, so that you need to wait for another promise to resolve, again here, but here unfortunately they are again giving that promise to you, so that end of the day who is responsible for everything?
our, uh,
You only.
ourselves.
Yeah, so that of course they will help you up to some extent, but 90% things in your hand. So please learn properly. Don't depend on one person or one institute. So 50 to 60% depends on self-learning. Nowadays everything is there in YouTube. Only thing is you should pick some good content and you should focus on that consistently, then definitely you will succeed. Okay, fine. Now tell me, understood or not, how to create a promise and how this resolve will
Yes,
work,
sir.
how this reject will work, and you should, because in interview, just whenever he asks that what is a promise, you should able to write this code. So can I write a simple promise? Just write down a promise and just make it resolve and reject, and just pass the success message and error message, and just no, write down the promise object and the structure of the promise object, what it is holding, the status, and a result, and then method and cache method. Everything is the part of that and how it is working internally. If you explain this thing, 99% they should give a job. If you don't, if he is not convinced, again, I don't, I can't do anything. But naturally, if you explain this concept, definitely they will get, you will get a lot of impression. Okay, so this is it for the today, and the next topic is what? Tell me, any guesses?
Async await, I think.
Yes, yes, why and Z, I think whatever it is, think and await. Okay, this is another super important concept. Lots of things there.
సార్
Yeah, tell me.
సార్ మనం ప్రాజెక్ట్లో రాసేటప్పుడు అసింక్ అండ్ అవైట్ ఓన్లీ రాస్తాం కదా సార్. ప్రామిస్ అనే వర్డ్ నేను చూడలేదు సార్, అంటే ప్రాజెక్ట్లో చూడలేదు.
Yeah, we don't write this one because whenever you are building asynchronous logic, then we need to write these promises. Most of the time in projects, we are what?
కన్జ్యూమింగ్.
Consuming the asynchronous call. So if you get a chance to build asynchronous logic, then we will write the promises. Okay. Most of the times, maybe backend people, because you will get the just endpoint, right? Has HTTP colon some www.xyz.com /API/users. Yes or no?
ఎస్ సార్.
So whenever you are just doing fetch API and you are passing, that means we are consuming the promises, right? We are not creating the logic. So
ఎస్.
because we have sending a request, right? So the person who has created that logic to give a response, to do a processing at the server, so there they will use promises.
ఓకే సార్.
But we should aware of this logic. Okay? But of course, whenever we are dealing with the Node.js and whenever we are building REST APIs, definitely we are going to get a chance to write all these things. Good. Any questions?
సార్.
Understood, everyone? Mayur,
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Niharika,
Yes, sir.
Prakash, Pankaj,
Yes, sir.
Pawan,
Yes, sir.
and Pawan. Okay, hopefully you
ఎస్
understand.
సార్.
So, and tomorrow is Thursday. We are going to understand async and await, and the Friday is going to be the last session in this series. Okay, and from Tuesday onwards, we are going to enter into the project, but that doesn't mean we learn JavaScript completely. Well, lots of concepts are there, but this is enough for the foundation. And I will suggest you, because already if you have seen our YouTube channel, the previous 100 days challenge, I covered a prototypal inheritance and other topics as well. Not only our YouTube channel, I will suggest few other things also, so that you should learn all those topics on your own. And by the time you are learning, if you get some questions, definitely I will answer. But um, just go to the JavaScript world. Okay. So I think most of the things here also we covered, but especially this, yeah, the factory functions, constructor functions, prototypal inheritance, and how we will deal with inheritance with the help of classes, and what is the difference between the proto and prototype. This is the most beautiful. Like, so normally in real life, normally there is some fight, right? Whether egg is the first existence or hen is the first existence. Just tell me. అంటే మామూలుగా గుడ్డు ముందా కోడి ముందా అంటారు కదా తెలుగులో.
Uh, Some people say that egg is the first one because
So you will find the answer in this video. Okay, whether egg is first or hen is first. Okay, but if you want to understand this topic, you should go through these five from factory functions. So but these are very very important. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 videos again. 10 videos. And even if I forgot to explain first order function something, please go and watch these things. And other thing also here, uh, other things I covered in this. Yeah, here if you see, array method find index and sum and every I've covered. Promises anyway, of course I covered the same thing here. It to spend again. Promise chain done. Okay, async await also done previously. Yeah, here the spread operator, rest versus spread operator, destructuring of arrays, destructuring of arrays with rest operator, destructuring of object, and destructuring. I think we covered in 2 sessions. Yeah, this is very important. Template strings and template literals, JSON and JSON.parse and JS.stringify. And what is a module, call, apply, bind, call, apply, bind. A lot of things are there. Still, minimum, yeah, shallow copy and deep copy. So again, these are again minimum 20 or 15 interview questions topics. So this is not the end. The third phase is also there. So, but hopefully, you have that interest to learn. Yeah.
So, if we cover that topics also and including these playlists, then it will be okay.
Will be?
Uh, it will be okay for us to become a full
Yes,
JavaScript
yes,
developer.
yes, yes, yes.
It is
Only
enough.
because we can't say any time this is enough because lots of topics are there. But if you're really good at these topics, even though if you don't know the remaining topics, they will agree. They will consider you as a very good developer because it's not possible for everyone to know everything, right? These are the essential topic.
Even 10 to
Sorry.
yes, even 10 to 15 year experience. Even 10 to 15 year experience candidate need to watch the documentation of JavaScript while coding. Nobody is perfect in everything.
Yes,
No?
yes. He can crack it there. This thing, if he understand promises, if he understand event loop, if he understand this call, apply, bind, if he understand prototype. Okay, and these are
Mhm.
the most important topics. So if you understand these things, that is enough to justify that you are good at JavaScript. Okay, but what will happen, this is like a technically the JavaScript, but they will give some coding challenges, right? Because we have covered only how many array methods. I think probably 5 to 10, right? Maximum push, pop, shift, unshift, and reduce, split, the splice,
Street price.
for each and map, right? Only 10. So based on these 10, and again there will be split, reverse, some other methods are there. So based on that, they will give some coding challenges. There, we should prove that we are very good at problem solving. Okay? But whatever you have learned, this is really, really fantastic. But you should apply, right? You know the concept. You should understand where to apply. So if you see any, suppose Scalar Academy or PW Skills, you can go to any popular platform. Suppose how much time they're telling that for a full stack developer?
6 months, I guess. 3 to 6.
8 months,
If
7 to
you
8 months.
see full stack web development, PW Skills, because definitely this is the because Hitesh Chaudhary is really fantastic trainer. So how much time?
12 a month.
12 months
It's
means
4 months.
everything. HTML,
1
CSS,
year.
everything: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js,
Node.js,
Node.js, Express.js.
Node. Yes.
MongoDB and coding challenges,
Mm,
interview questions, resume preparation, aptitude, reasoning,
More
political
noise.
skill, some projects.
including DSC also, sir.
Yeah, DSA. But tell me, in 12 months, daily 1 hour or how many hours?
Saturday, Sunday.
Aha.
It's only
They
for
they
weekend.
will provide training, live training on Saturday, Sunday. But
Yes.
they will provide all the recordings. You should spend minimum 6 to 8 hours in a day, right?
Mhm.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, if
Yes,
you
sir.
spend minimum 6 to 8 hours per day for 12 months, what? You will become full
Full
stack
stack
developer.
developer.
But 90% of the students, they will spend only 1 hour for these 12 months and they will ask job guarantee. Tell me, is it possible? So that is a problem because there is a competition. Because 2 years back, if you just know the React JS, there are lots of opportunities. But what happened in these 2 years? Lakhs of people already learned React JS. Now competition is huge. So that they will ask too many questions. And Next.js is there. A lot of things are there. But one thing is important. If you understand if you are good at JavaScript, you can learn everything. But whether you will learn all these things in 3 months or 6 months or 8 months, that depends on the environment and your effort and everything matters. But as a fresher, who are suppose who is studying third year, Srujan, right?
Yes.
Srujan is
Good.
studying BTech third year. This is enough because if he get an opportunity in a campus interviews in a technical round, if he's able to explain promises and event loop, that's enough. He can clear a technical round. But if you have a 3 years gap after graduation, yeah, this is not enough. That's matter. Let
So
me
for 3 years,